Queenstown has the most unaffordable housing in New Zealand. The ratio of house prices to income in Queenstown is about 20 to 1. Nationally, that ratio is about 10 to 1. So if you're renting, you need more than half your weekly income just to pay the rent.
Housing stress is a real concern, and I think it sometimes drives people to alcohol issues, domestic violence. Anecdotally, we're hearing there's been quite an increase in this sort of thing. When I talk to the local social services agencies that we work closely with, everything seems to come back to housing and the costs of living here.
My name is Sarah and I live here with my two daughters, a 5-year-old and 6-month-old, and my husband and sometimes tenants.
Sarah and I have been in Queenstown for 3 years. We used to live just next door, and we had the opportunity to buy this house and jumped at the chance so Sarah could work at home out of a Pilates studio, and came with an extra bedroom as well, which we use to rent out and subsidise the mortgage a little bit.
The mortgages, are quite high. We needed to, have people come in that will help, pay our mortgage essentially.
The idea of a 1/4 acre section in a standalone home, it's not an option now in the whole Queenstown Lakes district for most people.
You can't get a new build with a flat for much under $1 million. So that's your typical entry-level sort of home, and you're earning just over $50,000 a year. How do you make those numbers stack up?
We have 4 adults and the 2 kids in the house.
Well, sharing our space with other people, having a newborn around, it's definitely challenging.
We just manoeuvre around each other. If all of us are cooking at the same time, we just do it. We just manoeuvre around each other. We just try not to make a big deal about it.
I don't mind it sometimes, but sometimes it would also just be nice to have our own space. We do it because we have to, I suppose, from a financial standpoint.
We're working with Queenstown Primary School at the moment. They struggle to get staff to stay here because they can't get affordable housing, but also they see families leaving and kids moving around, and that's not good for a community.
We do actually talk about leaving Queenstown, that maybe this isn't our forever place.
No more leftover. Where's your lunchbox? Did you put?
I'm Edwin. I'm married, and I have 2 kids, age 14 and 10 years old, and then we live in Queenstown for 14 years. Me and my wife work full-time. I work at the Hotel Copthorne as maintenance supervisor. My wife works at the casino, and then she works at night. We have a part-time that we're cleaning.
So you do that as well as your full-time job?
Yes. We pay $720 a week, plus the power bills and any bills that we need to pay. I only got $800 a week, so we don't save anything at the moment.
Is it stressful?
It is stressful, especially when you have kids and then you don't know where you're gonna get another money to pay your bills. Today, I wrote my resignation and then sent to my manager. So I got 4 weeks notice starting today. We're decided to move to Australia. I believe that we can save money if we move there rather than we stay here.
We were set up by the council originally back in 2007 to create affordable housing. We helped 44 households into these homes here in Shotover Country. So we helped a social worker and a police person, a vet, and all of these people are people who just couldn't afford to get into the market on their own. So it was great to be able to assist them. This is a pilot for Secure Home. We launched it in February of this year, and it's quite unique, this program, because it's splitting the land from the house. We've said, okay, the cost to build one of these homes is, let's say, $350,000, so that's what it's going to cost the household to buy into this property, and then they pay us a very small ground rent for the land. So we continue to own the land, and they essentially own the house. How are you, Banjo? Nice to see you. Yeah, you've been well?
Yeah, I'm well, yeah.
This is like a fulfillment of our dream. So because we've been here in Queenstown for like more than 10 years now. Before we got this house, we just have a notice from the apartment owner that we're going to have a rent raise. So luckily, when we received the email, we were offering the application for the first secure home program. So this is our dream come true.
The Southern Lakes District is unlikely to be a very affordable place to be. The reality is it's quite a small market with really high demand for housing.
What's your daughter's name?
Sydney,
How old is she?
14. Sunday, I told her that we're gonna move to Australia. She was crying the whole day. It's hard for her to leave her friends.
If Queenstown was more affordable, would you stay?
Yes, we plan to buy a house, but as of now, we're still in the queue at the housing trust for how many years, and then we don't know when it's gonna be happen. It is a tough call. It is because we built a Filipino community here. There's a lot of Filipino people that's struggling as well.
There is a sense of desperation for a lot of households on our waiting list. You see them struggling with those high rents. You know, we look at the subdivision that we're in now, Lake Hayes Estate. There's probably 600 homes at least down here. These are all families that are wanting to work and live here and bring up their kids here.
We hope that maybe they'll start to balance out the fact that there are so many people now living here. There are so many families now living here. It's not just catering towards, you know, the tourism trade.
So that's one of our goals, is to try and create as much affordable housing as we can. It's ensuring somehow that it doesn't become out of reach for a lot of families.